Hi everyone! I'm back with one more time lapse, but this time it's an oil painting. An oil painting that I've finished quite some time ago, but I had forgotten I had filmed everything about it. So when I randomly found this footage in my folders within my PC, I knew I had to make a YouTube video about it. This painting is obviously inspired by kitsunes. They are mythical creatures of the Japanese and Chinese mythology. At least they originated there. I don't know if other cultures have taken the myth and taken it a little bit further or not, but that was my inspiration behind it. Kitsunes are actually foxes that are, according to the myth, magical foxes and grow extra tails as they grow older. At around 100 years of life, they are supposed to grow the first extra tails, and at around 1,000 years of life, they grow their ninth tail, when they are actually able to turn white and ascend to the heavens. When they do ascend to the heavens, they are supposed to be one of the most powerful creatures of the universe, controlling things that our mind cannot even fathom. With their magical powers, they are able to take human forms, and supposedly they prefer attractive women in order to seduce men and get into human society and pass unnoticed. According to the myth, a woman walking around in the middle of the night alone was most likely a kitsune and not a real woman. Anyway, I like this myth, and it's fascinating to me how kitsunes have evolved over the years. I like this idea, and I like painting them both in their fox form with a lot of tails and in their human form. And you're probably wondering why I didn't choose a Japanese or a Chinese woman to portray her. My idea was that if kitsunes are indeed real, according to the myth, and they are indeed so powerful, they probably didn't stick around only in Japan and China. So I guess they have conquered the world by now and we don't really know it. And why not take forms of other women as well that don't necessarily look Japanese or Chinese in order to mingle in our affairs and pass unnoticed in other parts of the world as well. I did hope that this choice wouldn't offend anyone. It wasn't meant that way. It was meant to make them look even more powerful and not less. As you can see here, at the start of this painting, my color choices were completely different than the final ones. It was much more colorful at the start, with a lot of green and red, and then, as I was looking at it, I thought that it wasn't what I really wanted out of this painting. I decided to change the colors slowly, experiment a bit, and see how I felt about the changes. As you can obviously see, I liked the changes, so I kept them. I kept going darker and darker. I swapped to more muted colors instead of the bright greens and reds, and tried to change the atmosphere of the whole painting together. Throughout this process, I was constantly thinking that it's too simple. It had to have something more. I wanted it to look a little bit different, and I didn't know what exactly that was. I kept coming back to it, looking at it when I wasn't working on it, trying to figure out what exactly I wanted to add and what atmosphere I wanted it to have in the end. In one of these moments that I was just looking at it, trying to come up with an idea, I remembered the myth that was saying that once they reach 1,000 years, they can turn white and actually ascend to the heavens. And I thought that maybe that was it. I could make her hair look like she was dissolving within the air, ascending to the heavens, and we caught that moment on the painting. That kind of random aspects and more loose brushstrokes is something that I like to incorporate in my paintings lately, and something that I've experimented a lot in my most recent paintings. I definitely want to evolve more within that, because I see that a painting like that is to me more unique and special and has that extra something that makes it stand out, at least in my eyes. Once this part of the painting was finished too, the title came as well. Ascension seemed like a very fitting title to such a moment, so I decided to keep that title for my painting. That's pretty much the story behind the painting and the whole process of creating it, as you can see in this video. But something that you don't see here is something that happened after I actually finished the painting. When I went on to varnish it, I couldn't get the varnish to stick very well to the white spots of the painting, and I did some research online about that. I found someone that said that I could clean it just a little bit with some mineral spirits and then go over it with a varnish. It didn't seem like anyone disagreed with that method, so I went ahead and tried it. The mineral spirits indeed cleaned the surface and the varnish did stick on top of the whites, but then I realized that the whites had been affected by this process. The mineral spirits had affected the whites and they weren't as bright as before. They had some little spots or dots on them. I guess maybe I removed some of the paint with the mineral spirits, even though it was very, very dry. Anyway, I won't be doing this procedure again because obviously it hurt the painting, and that's why I still haven't put it up for sale. I decided to keep it around for a while until I decide what to do about it. After a month or two, I decided to go for it and actually unvarnish it, repaint the whites and everything else that needed fixing, and revarnish it. But now I realize that the prints I've made out of it are not exactly alike the original painting. I don't think that I mind that too much. I definitely will say that specifically, both on the prints and the original, if I decide to put it up for sale, but I just thought I would mention this accident that happened to me in order for you to avoid it in the future. Just make sure that when you research something online, you take some extra time to see if it actually works instead of ruining your paintings the same way I did. Anyway, I think that's all I had to say about the painting, the process, the thoughts, and the little accident in the end. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a thumbs up before you go so that others know that they maybe should watch it as well. If you like to see more videos like this, consider subscribing to my channel. I'm uploading twice per week now. Let me know in the comments below if you have a different solution for varnishing properly in such situations, or if you had any recent happy or unhappy accident with any of your paintings. I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, be safe, be happy, and keep going for your dreams. Bye!